Hello and welcome to BQ Prime. A very good afternoon to all the viewers. I'm Tata. Clearly, if you go to see, markets are seeing a good up move in today's session. We're nearly at the day near the day's highest levels as we speak, sustaining above those 19,500 levels. Overall, in terms of Bank Nifty as well, it's up 0.3%, but underperforming Nifty 50 in trade. But what levels to watch out for from here on? Hemen Kapadia joins in with more. Hemen, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
A very good afternoon to you,
Yes.
Riel. Thank you for having me.
Hey, my first question coming to you is we've managed to surpass 19,500 again in trade today, and it seems that the closure is expected to be above those levels as well. What would this actually mean?
Two things, Hiral. Firstly, we somehow held on to the 19,250 level, which was tested around 4 or 5 times, which is frankly speaking a relief. So, one, I believe that the downside seems to be capped. And unless and until we break 19 to 50 in terms of closing, I think the outlook should be slightly positive. Now, coming to the upside, we are at 19,525. My level is 19,524. The adjustment level might be slightly lower. But if we sustain about 19,524, we are going to 19,700. So, frankly speaking, we've been corrective for some time. The Bank Nifty was in a 6 week correction here. Now, that has shown some signs of life. Now, today we have IT participating. Metals don't have much of a weightage, but metals doing well. So, it's been a broad based rally, and the mid cap, small cap dream run continues. So, everything seems hunky dory here. I don't see any negative or something to worry about at the moment.
Right. With this, how are you looking at Bank Nifty as well?
Well, the corresponding level for Bank Nifty was 43,600, equivalent to the 19,250. Now, we've held that pretty comfortably, and now some of the daily mechanical indicator like the MACD, RSI, stochastic hero, they've all given a crossover buy. So logic says that we are at 44,574. There's a little bit of a swing high at 44,779. I think we are going to 45,200 either this week or the next, most probably this week. So I think the Bank Nifty after 6 weeks of a correction, it's not been a very deep correction, Hiral, if you see. It's
Mm.
taken time. But the price have been relatively shallow. I'm saying relative because the move has been pretty significant. So we're setting the stage for a bounce. This is a resumption of the bull market. A bit too premature to say that, but as of now, this week, I think after some choppiness and some weakness over the last few weeks, this week promises to be a better one. Either.
Right. Now, if you look at stock specific action as well, Hemen, let's look at metal counters like Nalco, NMDC, SAIL. All the three are seeing a bullish setup and trade today. What should the strategy be?
In fact, if I can draw your attention to NMDC, it's a very interesting scenario. Interesting why? Because the Nalco has, NMDC has gone nowhere over the last 12 years. It's in a range between 50 on the downside, 150 on the upside. And now it is setting the stage. It might not happen this week, next week, but it is setting the stage to overcome 150. Now, if NMDC overcomes 150 on the quarterly chart after 12 years of consolidation here, it means two things. One, it's going to be a multi-bagger. Two, start of a multi-year up move. Now, seen, not fair to compare, but we've seen something like this in PFC and REC. They gave 10-year breakouts here and, they've shot through the roof. So NMDC is next on the list. SAIL that you mentioned, the SAIL has given an upward breakout from an ascending triangle. So has Tata Steel. So metals have done well, and notwithstanding some resistance at slightly higher levels, I believe they do have some, if not significant, some more headroom on the upside.
Right. How are you looking at a coal India? Because the stock movement is pretty strong. Plus, if you see the open interest addition also in double digits in today's session, what should the strategy be?
12 months, 210, 265, and now it's sort of waking up. So I would be more bullish than bearish. All the indicators have turned positive on the daily chart here, on the weekly chart, and on the monthly. Now, this needs to be taken with a pinch of salt because this is the first day of the week. Ideally, we would need the situation on the last day of the week or last day of the month. But whatever the situation. As of now, it seems to indicate after 10, 11 months, it has finished a significant correction, consolidation, retracement, however you term it, and seems to have commenced a journey. We should take it to 260 and 290.
Right. How are you looking at a BHEL, Hemen?
Oh, that's been a mind-blowing stock, frankly speaking.
Hmm.
13 years of correction, and now it catches up big time. 130 was the target, at least for me, and now we've gone past that as if it doesn't matter. So, frankly speaking, we are going to 190. But this is not a short-term call. Despite the sharp movements over the last few days, normally BHEL is a relatively slow-moving stock. So, I would say 6 months to a year's time, 190 coming here.
Hmm. Okay. Again, if you see on few of the negative names, you have names like Escorts and Berger Paints, which are seeing a bearish build-up in trade today. How are you looking at both these names?
Escort seems to be sheer profit taking here. 1800 to 3350 in just 6 weeks. I mean, that's defying laws of gravity. We needed a cool off, and this is coming in, like you're saying, the OI seems to be sort of reconfirming that. So I believe we are on the cusp of walking into a correction as far as escorts is concerned. I mean, we remain safely ensconced in a longer term uptrend. We probably have been for the last 4 years here and counting.
Okay. Let's look at a few of the other names in trade today. How are you looking at a Reliance Industries and a HDFC? Because I've been talking to analysts who are expecting a good rally, and that could be supported by RIL and HDFC. How are you looking at the charts?
Well, Reliance is also being into let's say, a 4 week correction here. Downside only if it breaks 2400, we see 2369. If those levels come, I think time to take a contra buy. Currently, all indicators are in sell on the daily chart. So the correction continues. So I believe it would take some more time for things to play out. But once again, the bigger picture remains clearly positive. I mean, Reliance has been an uptrend here for let's say around 14 years and remains so.
Right. Devin, names like Tata Steel, REC are seeing some good amount of short covering in today's session. How do you look at them?
Tata Steel ascending triangle breakout. Ever since Tata Steel split, the stock was relatively lifeless and had sort of lost its mojo, so to speak. But now, above 125, it seems to have discovered that too. So 117 to 133 in 5 trading sessions. That's huge for a 1 rupee paid up Tata Steel. But I believe we are heading towards 139 and more. So the setup looks clearly positive, and this has happened after a long time here. Uh, Tata Steel has also, I believe, taken almost 2.5 years of a correction. So it's been a time as well as a price retracement. So somehow metals seem to be shining like bullion, at least as of now. Here,
Okay. So that's with regards to where few of the metal names go as we speak. Hemant, any other names that come to your radar as we speak in terms of stocks that could be good opportunities?
frankly speaking, IT is looking positive. I think the Nasdaq has also exhausted a correction and seems set to bounce back, if not resume its up. And over here, the IT index looks good. Stocks like HCL Technologies, we've taken out 1215 today, and this level is probably a 1.5 year high. That looks good. LTTS looks good. LTIS looks good. He said that the Infi TCS seem a relatively slow mover, but the mid cap ITs and even something like a Wipro and Tech Mahindra. So I think IT is something one can look at. HCL Tech Mahindra, they've had very sharp moves today. So on a small pull off, I think both can be looked at for if you're taking an F&O position for this month and the next.
Right. So that's with regards to where overall a few of the stocks that we've discussed go. Thank you, Hemant, so much
Thank
for
you so much.
joining us on the show and sharing the views. So, overall, good movers and shakers that we have been discussing. Interesting day of trade for the markets as well. The close comes in pretty much very close to the day's highest levels, which is 19,535, and we are hovering around those levels as well. Overall, if you go to see in terms of Bank Nifty as well, gains of around 0.4% coming in. They're pretty much in line with the benchmark indices. Names like Coal India, Ultratech Cement, IT names like Wipro, HCL Tech, and Metal Pack like Tata Steel are the top gainers. Whereas on the losing end, you have M&M, which is down in trade. ITC, Nestle from the FMCG pack trading under pressure. Asian Paints down in trade. And Asian Paints, again, will be down with the other paint companies as well, taking into consideration the way crude prices have been moving so far. Railway counters have been doing pretty well in trade in today's session. So interesting moves coming in terms of the railway names as we speak. But apart from that, in terms of other companies, you have MMTC, which is up in trade, JP Associates. Sugar Pack continues the upward journey in today's sessions. It's going to be interesting to see how all of these stocks continue to react during the week. That's all that we have on this session. Thanks for watching, and lots more lined up on the other side. Please stay tuned to BQ Prime.